Hi, it's your old Aunt Tina again. I have finally managed to convince my husband, your Uncle Dewey, Mike as I call him, um, to do some videos with me. And one of the things that I would like for him to do is to talk about his military experience when he was in the Navy during the Vietnam War. There's plenty of stories he's not told me. I'm not going to force him to tell anything. I just want him to tell some stories. And also to pass along the stories of your great-grandfather, Charles Dewey Trowbridge. Some of his stories when he was in the Pacific during World War II. I think these are important stories that should be passed along to you young folks so that you understand what a war really is. A lot of young people think they're going to join the military just to have a job, and then the next thing they know, they got a gun in their hand and they're dropped down in the middle of some jungle somewhere, where your job is to shoot people, whoever they may be. Your Uncle Dewey's got some hairy stories that I want you to hear and learn from. Now, your Uncle Dewey and I are kind of an odd couple because when I met him, he was a veteran United States Navy. What was I? Hippie peace freak. Believed we shouldn't be fighting anywhere. Believed we should be sending people in to talk. Gee, what a concept. Talk with people? Now, the United States, I believe, is just the bully of the world. We bully everybody into accepting the American way, which is very, very faulty. This is me talking. This is not my husband talking. What I say are my words. What he says will be his words. Do we agree? Not always. But I think it's important that you listen to his stories and the stories of his father. And that's what we're going to be working on here on this little iPad thingy that I got, and we're going to post them. And you can watch them if you want or not. Doesn't make any difference. I'm also hoping that he will connect with some of his Navy buddies from when he was in the military during Vietnam. He always is talking about the guys that he was with on board and what a great time they had and how they managed to get themselves through the job that they were doing. And your Uncle Dewey had a very dangerous job. He worked the flight decks of the aircraft carriers Ranger and Midway in the Gulf of Tonkin. Look that up on a map if you need to. In the middle of everything. I want him to talk to you about that so that you understand what being in the military means and what it brings on. I love this man with all my heart, and yet we were on two different sides of the spectrum when we met. I remember the very first time I ever saw him was at a party at my cousin's house, and he was off in the corner with all the guys playing cards, way drunk. Way drunk. And I remember my cousin's wife coming over. She said to me, "You see that guy over there?" "Yeah." "He keeps looking at you." And I looked at him and he was like, drunk. And I thought, nah. Although I had my glass of booze I was drinking. But that's the first time I ever saw him. And then we met later on. He was friends with my cousins, so I met him there and started going out. And before you knew it, there we were. That was a long time ago. Holy cow. Gonna be 44 years. Close side of 44 years. That's pretty much a record for a lot of people. You've been married 44 years to the same man? Yeah. And proudly so. And I'm very proud of him. And I am proud of his military service. Although I personally do not come from a military family. My father was never in the military during World War II. I discussed that in another video called My Heritage. But his brother was in the military. His brother was in the Army in the Pacific. Ooh. He never talked about that. He never talked about any of his military experiences during the war, ever. I can only imagine. But, yeah, we're just going to do these little videos. And he's going to talk about his father and mother. And stories that maybe you, as the young folks of the family, haven't heard. Now, none of your names are Trowbridge. But you got the Trowbridge blood, kid. And it's good blood. It's good blood. It's good blood. So be glad you have it. So Mike and I we're going to start doing little videos, and you can watch or not. It doesn't matter. We're going to do them anyway, whether you watch or not. So it'd be fun. We hope you join us. And we'll see you later. Bye.